Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and this past weekend, the great movie actually, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, came out, and it had a lot of Easter eggs here and there, and tons of people have made videos on that, but one thing I really want to talk about today was the spider that bit Miles Morales. Where did it come from? Because it's a lot different in this universe than it is in the traditional Marvel canon regarding Miles Morales, because in the OG Miles Morales origin from Bendis back when he introduced Miles Morales in the Ultimate Universe, it was a spider stolen from Oscorp by his uncle Aaron, and it was just like the previous spider that bit Peter Parker in that universe, a genetically engineered, genetically modified spider, not a radioactive spider. And in this universe they call it a radioactive spider, which they call all of them radioactive spiders that bit the different spider people, so I don't know if that was just they're keeping it simple for everybody, or if it was just an assumption it was a radioactive spider, considering that obviously Miles didn't do in-depth research into the spider. Oh, is it genetically modified or just simply, I guess, irradiated? Getting more into the spider, the one thing that interested me is that instead of it having an Oscorp thing on it or the OZ thing from the Ultimate Universe for like Oz, it had Alchemax on it. And it was also really interesting too because just like characters from different universes, the spider glitched out a few times, and also when Miles touched it, he had quite the interesting reaction to the spider, as if touching it was showing him different universes, I guess, kind of hinting that the spider itself is from a different universe. And that's really what I'm going to talk about, because at the end of the movie, post-credits wise, we get to see Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, who is honestly probably, besides Miles, the most popular non-Peter Parker Spider-Man. Yeah, it's kind of hinting that, hey, we're going to get Miguel in a sequel to Spider-Verse, which I don't know, from the sounds of the Miles-Gwen relationship being the focus, I don't know exactly what the plot's gonna be, but the one thing they don't really talk about in this movie is Alchemax. And obviously it has connections to Spider-Man 2099, which is the obvious one. What is Alchemax? You know, because technically there's two different Alchemaxes in the comics. There's the one in the current 616 universe, and there's the one in the Spider-Man 2099 universe. So quickly just touching upon that one, pretty much in the 2099 universe, Alchemax is a super like mega corporation of sorts, which basically controls the government and everything about 2099 society. They are the ones responsible for Miguel O'Hara's becoming a Spider-Man. The only thing that interests me about how they're going to do this version of Miguel O'Hara is because if Alchemax is making radioactive or genetically engineered spiders, when biting people give them the abilities to, you know, become a Spider-Man, I'm curious if that's how they're going to do Miguel O'Hara's origin, because in the comics he didn't get his powers from a bite. In the original 2099 storyline, Miguel O'Hara gets his powers because of a kind of DNA merging, DNA imprinting type machine that was used for drugs. So Alchemax, being the evil corporation they were, made a machine that pretty much bonds a drug to your DNA, which is as crazy as it sounds. And basically a bunch of things happen. Miguel accidentally gets the drug. Miguel is trying to get it off of his system, and a bunch of things happened. His DNA was spliced with the genes of a spider, and that's how he got his powers. So I'm really curious to see how exactly they go about this. Now in the 616 universe, Alchemax is kind of like a weird amalgamation of Oscorp meets Horizon Labs, where Peter Parker worked at for a while, meets another company called Alchemical, which is done by Liz Allen. See the progression there, Alchemical, Alchemax. But comment below your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about this? I'm really interested in how they did Miles the Spider, just because it almost intentionally kind of binds Miles to the greater Spider multiverse. It's pretty interesting stuff, but comment below your guys' thoughts, and I'll see you guys later.